Check for sound. Check for power.
All systems online.
Guys, welcome to episode 43. Yes, the Loper Show. I mean, we're nearly to 50, guys, and we can do it. We can do it together. I have to be honest with you. I couldn't do it without you guys, though, man. Everybody who has subscribed to the channel, who shared the channel, and just gotten the word out there, I super appreciate you guys. Also appreciate the great sponsors of the show, like Shaker's Public House in Worthington. Shout out to them. Wing Wednesday coming up. You get those dollar wings all day long. And, of course, the Power Hour from 5 to 6, where it's like, I mean, dollar wells, beers, wines. It's an amazing deal. You guys got to check it out. Shaker's Public House in Worthington, bringing you the Loper Show. Now, I want to start out with some pretty interesting news here. What would a Loper Show be without talking about Back to the Beginning? I mean, we've literally been talking about this at the start of the summer when it was announced, and all the way through the event. We recapped it, and there just continues to be more and more information coming out about this. Now, apparently, there's word on the street that Back to the Beginning could become a franchised event that happens every single year. And the next stop would be right here in the grand old US of A. Yes, rumor is that it will be a tribute concert. So instead of being a concert that looked back onto Ozzy and Black Sabbath's career, this will be a tribute to Ozzy himself each and every year. So a different location. It seems that the consensus at this point, it's not going to be like Ozfest, where it was a traveling tour, having different stops all over the place. This would be a one and done type event, maybe multiple days. I'm not sure yet, but that's the word I'm hearing. And if you haven't seen it yet on Paramount Plus, the Ozzy Osbourne No Escape From Now is the documentary that dropped. And I mean, some of these moments in this documentary are just beyond moving. It's a lot of it leading up to Back to the Beginning. So you kind of get to go with Ozzy on this tour of his life that turns out it's the end of his life. And the chance that they would be shooting a documentary at the same time is just, I mean, the timing was incredible. And you can really tell by everyone that he's surrounded with, from family to peers and people that he worked with in management, that no one had any idea that Ozzy was this close to death at the time. So we'll keep you updated on what Back to the Beginning becomes. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, like, what do you guys think? Like, you can comment in the section below. You know, do you think this should be the event that saw Ozzy off for his entire career and we shouldn't go backwards and do that again? Or should we go back to the beginning every year and honor Ozzy Osbourne? I think it's a cool concept. I mean, you know, Sharon Osbourne has been known for being the real brains behind the operation of Ozfest. So we know that with her at the helm, it will be a dope festival every single year. And I mean, I think we could use one more metal festival, and like an amazing one at that. I mean, all of the biggest bands in the world will be chomping at the bit. Back to the Beginning in America. Comment section below. Tell me what you think. All right, so all you real estate moguls out there, or just people looking to get a leg up on an Airbnb that might be actually one of the coolest in the entire country, well, the Slipknot house where they filmed Duality is up for sale right now. Now, apparently, it's in shambles. I mean, if you remember the music video, I mean, the people absolutely destroyed that place. I mean, do you remember? Like, they basically just put out like an open invitation for all maggots, all Slipknot fans right there in the area they're from in Des Moines, Iowa. And they thought maybe, you know, a couple hundred people will show up. I mean, it was insane if you remember the music video. And in all of the chaos, it's like the ultimate heavy metal house party that if you're a parent or if your parents ever found out about it, they would absolutely not want it to happen. I mean, I know I wouldn't want my kids throwing a party like this, even though I'd like to be a part of a party like this. It's people throwing couches, people throwing each other. I mean, it was insane. And all of this insanity is happening as the band is playing. Now, the house is valued at around $300,000, but there's no guarantee of a title that's going to be free and clear. Okay, so they're saying that there could be some undocumented issues with the home, so you may not get a hard title when you buy this, because it's literally selling for like half the price that the house is valued at. So if you want to be a part of this, the auction is going to happen in Des Moines. and you could have a piece of rock and roll history, which would be kind of cool, man. It would probably make for one of the cooler haunted houses in the entire country. So go check it out. Speaking of someone that was at Back to the Beginning, Charlie Benanti of Pantera currently, but originally he's the drummer and still is in the band Anthrax. But he's been filling in for Vinnie Paul after his death in this latest incarnation, including Zakk Wylde of Pantera. But big congratulations going out to Charlie and his bride, Carla Harvey, who you're going, wait a minute, I know that name. Yes, from the Butcher Babies. They are now officially married. It's kind of funny. They took the rights to their wedding and had People Magazine come in and shoot the entire wedding, which I thought was kind of hilarious, man. Like when metal makes it to the mainstream, I mean, that's my favorite, bro. So all over People Magazine, you can actually see pictures of their incredible wedding where none other than Gene Simmons from the band Kiss literally performed the wedding. He married them, which I don't know if Gene is actually a certified minister, but I would imagine all the paperwork was done ahead of time and they were already married. But yeah, Gene Simmons orchestrated the entire wedding, and it was pretty cool, man. Everybody from Zakk Wylde to, I mean, you name it, they were there, and a bunch of people performed. I know Chris Jericho from Fozzy, he got up and he sang and played, and Charlie played as well. And yeah, I think there's going to be some more video that is slowly leaked. I know they asked all of the guests that were there in Las Vegas. That's the location of where they got married. They asked everyone not to put out any pictures or video until People Magazine had their drop. Because, I mean, God forbid you upset the people at People Magazine.
Hear that? That's not just any siren. It's the sound of Wing Wednesday at Shaker's Public House. Every Wednesday, when the siren hits, the dollar wings drop. All day, no limits, just flavor. And don't miss Power Hour every single day from 5 to 6 p.m. Drafts, domestic beers, well liquor, and wine, just $1. When the siren sounds, you know where to go. Shaker's Public House, where happy hour hits hard and the wings hit harder.
All right, so I want to get this story out of the way. It's just, I mean, one of the darker stories in rock and roll. From the band Lost Prophets, who are no longer a band because Ian Watkins, you remember that name? Well, that was the sick pervert who was the singer of Lost Prophets at the time and ended up having multiple child sex offenses. And when I say child sex offenses, man, I really debated before rolling tape on this show if I was going to get into what he did. And I don't think I want to go there. It's just so disgusting what he did. Yeah. And the women he was involved with that offered up their children. I mean, it was just a tragic story. Well, he's been in jail since, I believe, like 2014, I want to say. And there was an attempt on his life a few years ago in 2019. And then, lo and behold, someone got the job done the other day as they stabbed him in the neck several times. Ian Watkins dead Saturday morning. It happened over in Europe, and the BBC was reporting the story first. He was 48 years old. He was serving a 29-year sentence. And yeah, he's been in there since 2013. So you got to wonder if that guy started to almost see the light at the end of the tunnel, thinking like, oh man, I got through this. No, you didn't, Chomo. You didn't make it. And I don't know a lot of people that are too sorry that you didn't make it either. I hate to be gruesome and grim like that, but man, that story kind of disgusts me. It's just terrible. All right, let's liven up the party a little bit, okay? Here's the deal. We've been waiting to find out who is going to be the first band that is a semi-rock band, sort of, that will play the Sphere, right? You know, I mean, okay, so we know a few bands have been there that are semi-rock bands, right? Like Fish, okay? Let's not go crazy. It's a jam band. This band, I don't think anyone's going to throw the hard rock genre onto this band, but I mean, when they came out, they were for sure being played on rock and alternative rock radio. I'm talking about, no doubt, ska legends and pop legends as well. The Gwen Stefani fronted band will be doing their first extended run of shows in, can you believe it, 14 years. I remember when Tragic Kingdom came out, and I saw them at the amphitheater in West Palm Beach where I grew up. and Cake opened up on that tour. It was awesome. I mean, like, I was so in love with Gwen Stefani at the time. Little side note there. Yeah, so their residency at the Las Vegas Sphere will be in 2026, coming up next year, and tickets will go on sale very soon. Now, the shows will take place on May 6th, 8th, 9th, 13th, 15th, my birthday, and the 16th. So no opening acts, from what I understand. So what they do with the Sphere is it costs so much money to get these shows together that whoever plays there, most of the bands outside of Fish had to play the same exact set list every single time they played the Sphere, because to make all of the graphics and the video and everything that goes along with the Sphere is completely complicated, right? And in Studio City, California, they actually have a baby Sphere where these bands go and practice before they get to Las Vegas, so they can kind of get the feel of what's going to happen during the show and how the show will play out and exactly visually what the audience will see. So it will be interesting. I mean, like, you remember all the Tragic Kingdom artwork and all of that, and No Doubt in general had some pretty cool artwork on their album. So I think the visuals are going to be super sick. And I mean, that's a great show to take your chick to. Huh, ladies? I mean, come on. No Doubt live at the Sphere next May. Yeah, like I said, tickets go on sale very soon, so keep your eyes open for that. I know the Eagles finished up their residency there recently, which I heard was amazing. But the biggest word out of Vegas so far has been what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. The Wizard of Oz is absolutely huge out there. And I mean, 2 tickets will probably cost you $1,000, but from what I understand, the show is amazing. So if you make it out to Vegas, go check it out live at the Sphere. Oh, I was reading this the other day, guys. Check this out. So on February 27th, Rob Zombie is officially going to release a brand new album called The Great Satan. Yeah. And February 27th, look for that in stores. It's kind of weird because he did a couple of interviews over the summer where he was kind of downplaying doing anything. He was like, yeah, I'm not doing any movies. I'm not doing an album. Then all of a sudden, lo and behold, he announces The Great Satan. A great time to start celebrating with Halloween right around the corner. A big shout out to Def Leppard. They got their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's kind of funny when you hear names like Def Leppard and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know if you guys think the same thing I do. I'm like, did they not already have that? Seems like they should probably already have that. Like, who's on there if Def Leppard's not on there? Well, rest assured, Def Leppard is officially a part of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, I love people that go out to L.A. and they're like, oh, I don't want to see any of that stuff. And then you get out there and you get in the middle of Hollywood and you're just like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is dope. John Bon Jovi actually did the dedication for Def Leppard, which, hey, that's kind of cool. I would have loved to have been there. So ironically, last week we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about the graphic novel that Guns N' Roses has coming out called Appetite for Destruction, starring Axl Rose. Well, Slash did an interview, and I mean, this seems like a lot of clickbait to me. I will believe it when I see it, but he was teasing the idea that Guns N' Roses have so much material lying around that they could make an album at any moment. All they have to do is kind of get in the studio and start to narrow things down. And that's when Slash openly admits that is the problem, though, is trying to find time. He said that's always been the problem with Guns N' Roses. Everyone's timeline lining up and actually getting in there and doing the due diligence of like, okay, this is going to go on. Okay, this is not going to go on. And then this is what I was talking about in the last episode where the clash of personalities happen. Like, oh, this is my idea. I think this goes super well here. And then somebody else comes up and goes, no, that's not it at all. And then feelings are hurt. And then starts to affect what? The business, the touring, which has been huge over the last decade. It's kind of weird to even say that Guns N' Roses has been together like for a decade already. Again, the close to original lineup, but it's true. And business has been amazing. Like those guys back on top of the world when it comes to touring. Would they want to mess that up by going back into the studio? I mean, I would love to hear another Guns N' Roses record because when you really start to think about Guns N' Roses, it's like 3 albums. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Spaghetti Incident, GNR Lies. Okay, those were one was a cover record and one was a live record. You're talking about Appetite for Destruction and Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And that was kind of it. And then the band imploded. And those other albums, like, oh yeah, okay, Chinese Democracy. I'm talking about the real lineup, all right? Shout out to all the guys that played on Chinese Democracy, but I mean, I think we can all agree that was an Axl Rose project, a real Guns N' Roses project. Their entire body of work is like 3 records. And so if they did put out new stuff, it would be really I'm going to be super interested to hear what it sounds like, because just the difference between Appetite for Destruction and the Use Your Illusion albums, there was such a progression. And, you could argue back and forth about which style you like better. I mean, of course, Appetite for Destruction really, just made a place and time in rock and roll history when that album came out. I mean, just an absolute gem. But it would be interesting, because if you think about the double record that was Use Your Illusion, like if you could go in and be completely just top of mind and just picking the absolute best songs, you could actually throw out a couple of those and make like one banger album. Can you imagine if that was like one album? It would be very similar to Appetite for Destruction. As far as like when the track listing goes, it's one of the few records that I'll put on today or, stream or however I want to listen to it. And I won't jump to the next track or start with track 8 and then end with track 2. I like to listen to it in its entirety. I'm pulling for Guns N' Roses to make another record, but you heard it here first. I don't know that I believe that that's really going to happen. So recently, a Disturbed concert was canceled in Brussels due to security risks. Of course, David Draymond, the lead singer of Disturbed, has been outspoken in support for Israel, and this has proven to be a bit of a hurdle for the band Disturbed. They had this concert that was scheduled for the 15th in Brussels, and the Belgian government said they don't believe that that's a great idea. They have the local government there, the mayor and the local police came in and said, well, there's a potential threat for people to come and seek retaliation, because there's a lot of videos out there of David Draymond signing bombs that the Israeli military fired at Gaza, and it's a little controversial. Should everyone have the right to their own opinion? Absolutely right. It's just when it starts to affect business. And Disturbed is starting to see that now, that being so outspoken about things with certain groups rubs people the wrong way. Now, I think you should be able to say whatever you want to say. Now, not everybody can be Rage Against the Machine. Not everybody wants to be. And that's where Disturbed is right now. They put out this long statement that I'll summarize in saying that basically they are about the music, and the music brings people together, and the music is to bring people together, not divide people. And David Draymond went on to say that everyone is welcome at Disturbed concerts, everyone of every faith, every walk of life. And that's how I've always known Disturbed. I mean, to draw lines in the sand, obviously things in the last couple of years have gotten really weird with the whole Palestine and Israel thing. I'm hoping that, it's coming to an end and this peace treaty works out and all is well. I think it'll be interesting to see how outspoken David Draymond is going forward about any of this, because it has clearly affected business, and no word on it if they're going to reschedule the concert in Brussels. But if for some reason you had tickets, the word is that the payment that you gave in with whatever card you used will just be issued back to that same card. So I made my way out to the Italian Fest out here in Columbus this weekend. My son and I, Knox, and my buddy John and his girlfriend Courtney, and their son Atlas. And we had a good time, man. Some excellent food out there. Carfagna's, shout out to them, man. I mean, it was delicious. Now, it is kind of risky to have that much Italian food and then put rides in the situation as well. But, we did it all, and everything worked out, thank God. But I ran into a lot of people that have found the podcast, and I really appreciate that. People that have followed me from the radio to the podcast, back to the radio. And I truly appreciate that. And if there's any time that you ever see me in public, just please make sure you walk up, you say what's up. Probably going to hit a pumpkin patch at some point this month. And I'm going to do some of these haunted houses. I wanted to kind of get your guys' take on what do you think the best haunted house in your area, whether you're watching this in South Florida or in Nashville or in Columbus, Ohio. Where's your favorite? I know a lot of the people in Columbus are going to say the Blood Prison, which is the prison up at Mansfield where they do incarceration. That one is incredible. I know the Haunted Hoochie is one that I've been to over the years here, and that one's super sick too. So leave what you think is the absolute best, and we'll read those on the next show. Aaron Bruno, the dude from AWOL Nation, is doing a podcast now called the Totally Committed Podcast, and he had Chino Morano on from the Deftones, and he asked him what his favorite song of all time was, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool question for Chino, and he said The Beautiful Ones by Prince. I was like, oh, that is a dope choice. I got into an argument, not a real argument, but a debate with somebody like a few days ago about Prince, and they're like, you know, the old who's better, Michael Jackson or Prince debate from the 80s. And I mean, I've always been steadfast that, you know, obviously controversy aside, Michael Jackson, incredible artist. I mean, absolutely changed music. But I mean, Prince may be one of the greatest guitar players of all time, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, and producers, and just a force in music, period. You know, obviously both of their deaths were ill-timed, but I mean, Prince to me is right up there with Slash or Jimi Hendrix or Zakk Wylde. I mean, Prince had bangers, guys. You can leave it in the comments section below. What is your favorite song of all time?
Hear that? That's not just any siren. It's the sound of Wing Wednesday at Shaker's Public House. Every Wednesday, when the siren hits, the dollar wings drop. All day, no limits, just flavor. And don't miss Power Hour every single day from 5 to 6 p.m. Drafts, domestic beers, well liquor, and wine, just $1. When the siren sounds, you know where to go. Shaker's Public House, where happy hour hits hard and the wings hit harder.
So that'll do it for this week, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into the show, brought to you by Shaker's Public House in Worthington. Really appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and notifications on for whenever I drop new videos. You'll get the little bell will ring, and you'll know that there's a new episode of the Loper Show out. And you could do the same thing on all of the different podcast platforms. You know, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music. You know the drill. Well, I'm everywhere. And if you got a couple extra minutes to leave a comment, it does help with the algorithm, and it really helps on the audio only portions of my podcast. So if you want to leave a comment on Spotify or Apple Podcast, I would really, really appreciate that, guys. Till next week, when our guest will be the one and only Miss Caitlin Curtis. If you don't know Caitlin, I think you guys are going to absolutely fall in love with her music, and she's got a single that's just burning up the charts right now. So we look forward to next week, episode 44, right here on The Loper Show. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.